Our next project is going to be a cyclone dust separator for the sawmill. I built a sawmill building and dust is a problem, so we're going to try this. I found this old chimney on the side of the road, stopped and bought it from a junk dealer, and Juan saw it. Anyway, we're going to cut it up and use it for the funnel and see how we can do. Well, this is my idea on this plastic drum top. It's kind of flimsy, so I'm going to put it on the inside like so, and then good tight lid for this thing, and I'm going to sandwich this lid on the outside. I'm going to go on and cut my 6-inch hole in both of them, and in the top, and center this thing up, squeeze these two pieces together. That should give me a good solid surface. I'm not going to put any weight on it anyway. It's going to be mounted. I'm going to hook, I guess, a flexible hose out of the funnel into the barrel. Fabricate some kind of, I have to use a flexible hose so I can get the barrel out to empty it. So that's where we're headed at the moment. Now this is kind of upside down view. Sorry about that, but I was by myself and I made a circle jig and I had a fairly new wood bandsaw, and this was actually the first piece I ever cut with my circle jig and was absolutely tickled to death. It came out perfect. We messed up another one a time or two, but anyway, my little circle jig worked on the new bandsaw, and like I say, it's kind of upside down. You're just looking right down on top of it, and but it's working perfect. I had to wind up cutting about 3 of them, and to go inside this unit to tighten it up. Well, there was my circle jig. That was an 18-inch circle. We're gonna put that on the top of the lid on the barrel. I'm using all my new toys. Got a grizzly. '60513 anniversary model. Here we're taking the plasma cutter. We put a piece of aluminum tubing down for a guide, and one splitting this. We're making it 2 feet wide, and going to make our circle for the top of the cyclone. This piece of metal, I already had it. It's 1/16 of an inch thick. It's the same thickness as the chimenea, just by happenstance. I had the metal. We decided that's what we're going to make it with. It was a little bit too thick to do what we're going to do. Got kind of hard to handle. Well, here was our first mistake. Unbeknownst to me at the time, I misread the tape measure and we cross-cut it 1 inch off on one end. I wanted an inch overlap when I pulled this thing together. Well, I had an inch overlap on one end, and it was just dead even on the other. So, that being said, we had a whole lot of trouble in trying to put this thing together. But anyway, had a little bit of rust on this piece of metal, and we cleaning it up. And where we cut it with the plasma cutter, it's hard as a brick. We had to go to some different grinding discs and fool with it, and go back to the flap disc and smooth it off, and then go back to we knocked it off the best we could first before we ground on it. Makes it hard on the grinder disc, but anyway, just what you have to do when you fool with a plasma cutter or torches or whatever. Thank God for plasma cutters, by the way. But we fooled and cleaned and get it ready to start wrapping it up, making a circle out of it, making a tube out of it, I should say, to go on top of the chimenea that started the cyclone. Here is when we figured out, oh crap, this is going to be harder to do than we thought. Right about here we're thinking, oh no, this is not going to do what we thought it was going to do. To weld this stuff, much thinner, you wouldn't have been able to weld it. It was hard to weld and moving around a whole lot. Yeah, we could have TIG welded it. We got a TIG welder, but it's so slow, and we got it done with the MIG welder, but it moves around quite a bit. But we fought it and fooled and finally decided, you know what, we'll put some straps on it. So we fooled around and got some straps out, messed with it, and then went from there.
This thing has almost whipped our butt. We have messed around with this thing. We've got 3 templates cut out, 24 inches, cut out on a bandsaw and a circle jig. They're perfectly round. We got the bottom one screwed down. If this thing comes loose, it'll kill us both. Juan and I both will die in it. So what we've decided to do, this metal was too thick for what we're doing, but it's the same thickness as the chimenea that we bought to make a funnel out of, but that's what we're going with. Juan's getting ready to weld it up. We're going to spot weld it where the joint is on the inside. We had to put a board on the outside and pull it in tight. It's round enough to do what we're going to do. Might not be perfect. But we're going to spot it and drive this down and spot it and drive it down, and then we'll get to the center one, do the same thing.
I want to take this opportunity to say how good a welder Juan is. I've welded all my life, self-taught, if you will, but I'm getting of age and I can't see. I have to have bifocals in my welding helmet and whatnot. So he does 90% of the welding now and does a real good job. He learned to weld years ago in a automobile factory, but he does a good job. But I just want to take this opportunity to thank Juan, because I could get it welded, but it wouldn't look as good as when he can do it. When you can't see, buddy, I'm going to tell you, it makes a big difference. But here we're just trying to fight this thing, and we're driving those templates that we cut. There's 3 of them in there, one on each end and one in the middle. and we just driving one down, welding, driving it down about an inch, welding it, spotting it, driving it down about an inch and spotting it. We got to the middle where we took one out, and you just keep going. It's the only way we knew to do it. It actually worked pretty darn good. It stuck together good. It wound up being a lot harder to drive down through there than you might think. But we're just kind of pecking along at it, trying to get to the bottom. Here's where the two geniuses have got our heads together and we're trying to figure out, well, what we're going to do with this thing and how we're going to do it. We're just kind of making it up as we go, trying to make it work.
One, put the expert spots to it. And then we've got 3 pieces of circles in there right now. We're going to take the straps off and see what we can do about getting this one out and putting on another one. Grab that back. I don't. I just don't understand. I'm not going to set it on top of there, but it can't. It's the way it's better. Although it should be bigger. No, I mean, put it in there. Yeah, because I want to weld outside. This one we